The 33 Tactics of Dark Psychology. Part 3. Becoming Psychologically Untouchable. At some point, awareness is no longer enough. You can recognize every tactic, name every pattern, explain every behavior, and still be affected. Because the real shift does not happen in the mind. It happens in identity. Manipulation stops working the moment you stop being internally negotiable. The difference between strong and unmovable. Strong people resist. Unmovable people do not engage. Resistance still creates friction, and friction still gives access. Unmovable people don't argue for their reality. They don't over-explain their boundaries. They don't seek agreement to act. They simply move accordingly. That quiet certainty is what collapses manipulation. Why manipulators lose interest. Here's something most people don't realize. Manipulators are not addicted to power. They are addicted to reaction, confusion, guilt, defensiveness, emotional labor. When none of that is available, the interaction dries up. No drama, no confrontation, just absence of access. Psychological control needs emotional hooks. When the hooks don't land, the tactic dies. Self-trust is the ultimate defense. Every tactic you've heard about relies on one thing: you doubting yourself. Once you trust your perception, everything changes. You stop asking, "Am I overreacting? Maybe I misunderstood. Should I give one more chance?" And you start asking, "Does this feel aligned? Is this consistent? Do I feel smaller here?" Unmovable people don't need proof to leave. Discomfort is enough. Boundaries, without explanation. One of the clearest signs of psychological strength is this: you no longer feel the need to justify your boundaries. You don't explain why you're unavailable. You don't defend your standards. You don't negotiate your limits. You simply act in accordance with them. Explanation invites debate. Silence closes the door. Emotional detachment is not coldness. This is important. Being untouchable does not mean being cruel, distant, or unfeeling. It means your emotions are yours, not public property. You can feel deeply, without letting feelings drive your decisions. You can care, without carrying what isn't yours. You can love, without losing yourself. That balance is what manipulators cannot access. The role of discomfort. Here's the part most people avoid. Becoming unmovable requires tolerating discomfort. The discomfort of being misunderstood, disappointing people, being seen as changed, not fixing everything. Manipulation thrives where people avoid discomfort at all costs. Freedom lives on the other side of it. When you change, people notice. Not everyone will like the new you. Some will say, "You've changed. You're cold now. You're selfish." Those reactions are not feedback. They are withdrawal symptoms. When access is removed, entitlement protests. You don't argue with it. You continue. The final shift. At the end of this journey, something subtle happens. You stop trying to protect yourself from manipulators because you no longer attract them. Not because you're invisible, but because you are clear. Clear people are expensive. They require honesty, consistency, and accountability. Most manipulators don't want that price. Dark psychology only works where the self is negotiable. The moment you stop explaining yourself, stop doubting your perception, and stop making room for what drains you, you become psychologically untouchable. Not loud, not aggressive, just grounded. And that is the kind of power that cannot be taken.